Indians with a record of 88-63. And the Rays, who are playing the Dodgers in L.A. this evening, they also are sitting with 63 losses. So that's the scene, so to speak, as far as the wild card is concerned. And the top wild card team going in today's play was the Oakland A's. And the Oakland A's started today 2 games ahead of the Indians as far as 61 losses compared to the Indians' 63. And the Oakland A's and the Kansas City Royals are still playing out in the Bay Area. And that ball game is still scoreless in the 11th inning. My goodness, have the Kansas City Royals given the Oakland A's all that they can handle. And that's the beauty of September baseball. You can look at schedules and say, well, this team's got this schedule and that team's got nobody to play. Hey, that you have no idea how things are going to go. And Kansas City's a perfect example with the way they have played the Oakland A's here this week. All right. Meanwhile, the Detroit Tigers right now, they've locked down the number 1 pick in the June draft if the draft were to be held today. And we still have, obviously, a week and a half to go. But the Tigers right now have 3 more losses than the Baltimore Orioles. And if you're going to have this kind of a season, why not get a consolation prize, get the number 1 pick rather than the number 2 pick? Right now, the Tigers have that with a record of 45-105. However, it doesn't mean the Tigers aren't playing hard. Boy, they play 27 outs every day. They may not have a lot of talent right now on the big league level, but Ron Gardenhire's club plays 27 outs, and that's a credit to Gardy, one of the game's terrific managers. And they'll try to give the Indians all they can handle again here tonight. Ben May, the home plate ump. Tom Halley and the crew chief at first. Phil Cuzzi at second. Adam Hamari at third. Aaron Savali, who made his Major League debut against the Tigers, will face them for the 3rd time tonight. Victor Reyes leads it off. The wind, and tonight's first pitch swung on, fouled upstairs for strike 1. And we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. 77 degrees, the game time temp. Savali's next delivery, and it's a breaking ball down and in, missed with a curve, 1-1. Savali, 3 fastballs, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, cutter, curve, slider, changeup. The next pitch to Reyes, another curve down and in, 2-1. Savali, right-handed, the rookie, 24 years of age, 6'1", 210. The 2-1 pitch, Reyes batting left-handed, rips it foul in and out of the Tigers' first base dugout, and the count 2-2. Reyes, a switch hitter in center field tonight, and he's having a nice season, batting .302, couple of homers, 20 RBIs. Victor Reyes, now the wind and 2-2, and he went off speed and nailed the outside corner with a backdoor curve for strike 3. So Reyes is out looking to start tonight's ball game, and that's something the Tigers do more than any team in the American League. The Tigers strike out more than any team in the American League. Last night they struck out 8 times, and Aaron Savali starts tonight's game with a strikeout. Here's the second baseman, Harold Castro, played in center last night, the left-handed hitter tonight at second. The wind and the pitch, and Castro takes a fastball strike. Greg Allen in left, Oscar Mercado in center, Yasiel Puig in right, Jake Bowers at first, Mike Freeman at second, Frankie Lindor at short, Ryan Flaherty at third, and Roberto Perez catching. Curveball drops in, strike 2. Aaron Savali made his Major League debut against Detroit in this park back on June 22nd and went 6 shutout innings. The pitch, curveball down low, 1-2. And Aaron Savali, he's pitched all season long like he did in his Major League debut. 6 shutout innings against Detroit June 22nd, gave up 2 hits, struck out 6, walked 3. Then he faced the Tigers near the end of August. Now the 1-2, and it's swung on, socked high in the air to deep center. Mercado's going back on the track near the wall. This ball hits off the wall, and hitting second is Castro going for third, and he's in with a triple. Mercado kind of got turned around out there in dead center. And he went back on that ball like he would catch it. Then he turned and looked, and the ball hit behind him right in that little triangle where the 19-foot wall and 9-foot wall come together. And Mercado had a little more room than he realized, and that ball hit on the warning track, then bounced up against the wall. And Harold Castro has his 4th triple of the year. So Oscar Mercado, who's been so good in center field, just got turned around a little bit on that one. And so Detroit has a runner at third with 1 out. The Indians will concede the run here on a ground ball to the middle infielders. The corner men are about a step in back of each bag. They have a play at the plate on a hard hit ball on a 1-hopper. Miguel Cabrera takes a first pitch strike. Now, this isn't the same Miguel Cabrera that terrorized the American League, but he still is the second best clutch hitter in the American League this year. The pitch to him, and he checks on a curveball. It's in there. This is a guy that is hitting .381 with men in scoring position. That is second best in the American League, and he bats with a runner in scoring position. Harold Castro down at third. From the set, the 2-strike pitch, a swing, a little dribbler out toward the mound. This is an easy play. Savali bare hands, throws out Cabrera, and Castro has to stay put. That little dribbler off the end of the bat of Miguel Cabrera went halfway to the pitcher's mound, and that's a huge second out to get that clutch hitter. And so the runner stays at third, but now there are 2 men out for the cleanup hitter tonight, Kristen Stewart, left-handed hitting left fielder. He's batting .245, 10 homers, 39 RBIs. Aaron Savali is like all these young Indians pitchers that keep coming up. Their composure and poise belies the fact that they're young and for the most part are rookies. They pitch like they've been around in the big leagues for 10 years. They just don't get rattled. Aaron Savali is 3-3 in his rookie year, but has earned run average a spectacular 193. The pitch, and it's a fastball strike on the inside corner. In 8 major league starts, Savali no complete games, but he goes 6 innings per start. He averages 7 strikeouts, 2 walks per 9 innings, and he's only given up 2 homers in 8 starts. The next pitch, curveball low, and the count 1-1. And for hitters, if you try to guess with Aaron Savali, you're in trouble. Because this guy literally has 6 different pitches he can throw at any point for strikes. Indians overload the right side of the infield. Stewart chops one on the right side. Bowers takes the shoulder high bounce. The first baseman goes to the bag himself. And Aaron.
Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland's news, talk, and sports on WTAM 1100 can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Well, the Indians have really had their way with Spencer Turnbull, and they'll try again here tonight. No score in the bottom of the first. The rookie right-hander facing Frankie Lindor, batting left-handed. And Lindor shows bunt, takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Detroit, right now, they may shift as much or more than any team in the game. 3 infielders on the right side for Lindor, batting left-handed, switch hitting shortstop. Turnbull delivering. Lindor takes a strike, showing bunt again. There is somebody on the third base side of the infield in on the grass, and that's the third baseman, Dalwell Lugo. Everybody else on the right side playing back on the infield. Turnbull into the motion and the pitch, and Lindor takes strike 2, fastball, inside corner. Turnbull's got good stuff. He'll get it up there in the mid-90s. Fastball, sinker, curve, slider, change. But boy, the Indians have beaten him to a pulp. The pitch, Lindor jam job roll towards the second baseman. Castro charges, gloves, flips, and gets him. Frankie hitless now in his last 10 at-bats. So 1 down and a good jam job by Spencer Turnbull, who against the Indians in 5 starts this year is 0-5. He's lost every start and has a 648 earned run average against the Indians. And this will be his final start against the Tribe here in 2019. The rookie right-hander, 6'3", 211. He is 26 years of age. The wind and pitch to Oscar Mercado, and he looks at a fastball strike. 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. Turnbull has lost 11 in a row. His last win, the last day of May. The pitch swung on another jam job, tapped to the mound. Turnbull running to first, now the underhand flip. 2 down, so he's done a good job getting in on the hands of Lindor and Mercado for 2 quick outs. Kristen Stewart's in left, Victor Reyes in center, and the right fielder tonight is Travis Demeritte. Brandon Dixon at first. No relation, but it's Harold Castro at second, Willie Castro at short, Dalwell Lugal at third, and the youngster Jake Rogers catching. 2 quick outs on just 6 pitches. No score, first inning. Here's Carlos Santana, switch hitter, batting left-handed, DHing. Santana drives one to deep left. Down toward the corner, it slices foul. For Santana, this is a quasi-day off. Franmil Reyes still dealing with a family member, and Tito mentioned, we're not getting into it. Doesn't really impact anything, but it's his wife, and everything's going to be fine. We'll just leave it at that. Here's the windup, and here's the 0-1 pitch to Santana. And it's swung on, fouled upstairs 0-2. But Franmil is at the park tonight and is in uniform. Tito did not expect him. He was saying in his office today he thought Franmil would still be here at home with his wife, but she's good today, and so he's able to play tonight if needed. But he'd missed a couple of days. Tito wasn't expecting him here, and Franmil and Tito talked, and Terry Francona, as is the entire Indians organization, it's all about your family first. And so he won't start tonight's game. That pitch down low, 1-2, and we'll wait and see on tomorrow. So Santana gets to DH tonight. Jake Bauers plays first. Santana batting .280, 34 homers, 89 RBIs. Now the 1-2. Inside, 2-2. Turnbull has a record of 3-15 with a 4.77 ERA. 28th start tonight, no complete games. He only goes 5 innings per start. He averages 9 strikeouts, 4 walks per 9 innings. Tribe and Tigers. 18th meeting of the year. The Indians have won 16 of them and lost 1. The pitch, changeup away, and the count now is full. The Indians lost on April 10th, the second game of the season series, and they've won 15 in a row since they lost to Detroit April 10th. The only winning streak longer against any team for the Indians, 17 in a row against Baltimore in 1954. Now the payoff. Swung on a little dribbler on the third base side. This will be a base hit. With that overshift, nobody is there as the ball just kind of trickles harmlessly down the third base side of the infield, and Santana has about a 70-foot single. That'll bring up Yasiel Puig, the Indians' right fielder. 2 down, runner at first, no score. Puig hitting .260, 24 bombs, 78 RBIs. And the way it's gone for Turnbull this year against the Indians, that which should have been a third out if you're not over-shifting on everybody, could end up ending with a big inning. It's kind of how it's gone when Turnbull faces the Indians. The pitch swung on, ground ball single into right center. Stopping at second is Santana. And there again, the Tigers are just overloading one side of the infield against every hitter. And that's great if you make the right pitches. But a lot of times that shift can blow up in your face, especially with a young staff that is still learning, that still doesn't really have good command. And so the Indians have twice now in this inning foiled the shift with what would normally be harmless ground balls that turn into singles. Now Mike Freeman's hitting fifth. Well, no Jason Kipnis, no Jose Ramirez, both out with the broken hamate bones. And so Freeman at second base tonight hitting fifth. Left-handed batter, 2 outs, 2 on, no score. And the pitch, and it's in there, strike. Jason Kipnis will soon have hand surgery in all likelihood. Dr. Graham will do it again in New York. That's who did Jose Ramirez's. Jose, his season might not be over yet. He is now swinging the bat and really swinging it well right-handed. The pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2. He had the surgery on his right hand or wrist area. So when he bats right-handed, the bottom hand, the left hand is not impacted. It hurts him, and he doesn't swing quite as well left-handed. That's not physically doing any damage. He's just not as comfortable left-handed as he is right-handed. The pitch, Freeman fouling it upstairs, 0-2. And Posey was saying in the clubhouse tonight, I still think I can get back. Boy, he is bound and determined. He's taking ground balls. He's running the bases. Now he's in the cages hitting. And as Tito said in his office tonight doing the pregame interview, why count out Jose Ramirez when he's not counting himself out? The pitch, Freeman swings and misses, chased a slider down and in, and Spencer Turnbull works out of the jam.
TAM 1100.
The number 5 hitter is Dalwell Lugo at third base tonight. No score in the second. He leads off against Aaron Savali and pops up the first pitch into shallow right. The second baseman, Mike Freeman, is there to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Detroit's not going to exactly work the count. They strike out a boatload, the most of any team in the American League, and they have the second fewest walks in the American League. So if you've got your A game, and Savali looks like he does, you can get through this lineup with a minimal number of pitches. Here's Brandon Dixon, the right-handed hitting right fielder. The wind, the pitch, and Dixon backs away and takes a strike. The Indians are obviously monitoring the innings, especially of the rookies. They're monitoring Aaron Savali and Zach Plesac in particular. The wind and pitch, and it's swung on, blooped foul, first base side out of play. And the count 0-2. They're also keeping an eye on Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber's never been over 200 innings before. Zach Plesac will start Saturday night. They skipped him a turn with these off days in the rotation just to keep an eye on his innings. The pitch, and it's outside a ball, and the count 1-2. And Aaron Savali, same thing. I mean, Aaron Savali, first off, when you're pitching in the major leagues, those innings have a lot more stress than minor league innings. The 1-2, down low, 2-2. And last year, Savali only pitched in 106 innings. He's already at 48 pitches, make that 48 innings pitched in the majors this year. That pitch fouled upstairs, 2-2. But he also was in AA and AAA this year, and that accounted for 72 innings. So he's already 14 innings beyond where he was a year ago, and about 40% of those are big league innings. The pitch, down and away, full count. So, as Terry Francona said on the manager's interview, you're trying to monitor innings, you're trying to watch the intensity of the innings, and you're also trying to get into the playoffs. The payoff, swing and a miss. Struck him out with a good slider. Savali gets his second strikeout. Dixon's out number 2. So it's a juggling act, but no one's better at it than Indians manager Terry Francona. And these kids have kept the Indians right where they're at. Very much a playoff contender going down the stretch. No score, 2 outs, nobody on, second inning. And the Indians hope to get their closer back here shortly, Brad Hand. Hopefully this weekend. The wind and the pitch, and the right-handed hitting Travis Demeritte hits a routine fly to right center, and the center fielder Oscar Mercado makes the catch. And this
30 minutes past on News Radio WTAM 1100.
Greg Allen leads off, takes the strike. The Indians switch hitting. Left fielder batting left-handed. No score, bottom of the second. Spencer Turnbull delivering, and the pitch is low, 1-1. Well, it's a gorgeous 77 degrees here at game time, and that temp is brought to you by Perfect Power Wash. Perfect results guaranteed. The 1-1. Allen takes high, 2-1. Hey, visit perfectpowerwash.com. You can get your quote right now. No score, second inning. Shift to the right. Allen batting left-handed. Allen takes a fastball strike, 2-2. Greg Allen batting .235, 4 homers, 27 RBIs. Now the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul in and out of the glove of Rogers. Of course, Allen playing a lot more with Tyler Naquin blowing out his knee and having the reconstructive knee surgery. Twins talk about all their injuries. If you look at Tyler Naquin's numbers, 20 fewer games. He almost had the same numbers as the Twins' Marwin Gonzalez. That pitch inside, full count. The loss of people like Naquin and Bradley Zimmer for almost the entire year. Sometimes those guys kind of fly under the radar, but they are important pieces. Allen pops one up foul by the Indians' third base dugout, out of play. Still a full count. Everyone knows about Clevenger, Carrasco, Kluber, Kipnis, Ramirez, but the other guys have made that lineup 1 through 9 pretty complete. Those guys are really being missed right now.
And the Indians' key has been depth. Man, has it been tested. And just that resolve, we talked about it last night. Resiliency is something you hear about a lot in terms of the Indian success here in September.
Now the 3-2 pitch from Turnbull. And it's swung on, hit pretty well, right center, but Demeritte's got plenty of room. Sounded better off the bat than the result, and it's a fly ball out to right. 1 down for Jake Bauers. And Bauers hasn't had a real big impact since coming back from Columbus. He's batting .229, a dozen homers, 43 RBIs. Right now, though, it's kind of like when you get into October baseball. You're hoping somebody you weren't really counting on emerges and just has a great week that can help carry a club. Here's the wind and the pitch. Bauers, capable of that, takes a strike. Hey, visit your local Toyota dealer right now and test drive the rugged, newly built in the USA Toyota Tacoma. The 0-1, off speed outside, 1-1. The tough, dependable mid-size truck with the best resale value. For all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com. Turnbull with 3 infielders on the right side, fires and misses up and away, ball 2, 2-1. Turnbull, a second-round pick by the Tigers 5 years ago out of the University of Alabama. Now the windup and the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Jake Bauers trying to hit that one to Erie, PA. 2-2 the count. 1 out, nobody on, no score, second frame. Turnbull's 2-2 delivery. Swing and a fisted foul back and out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. Final home series will be this weekend against Philadelphia. Boys, Saturday night, a big night. Dollar Dogs, fireworks, and a 2020 schedule poster given out. The 2-2 swung on, bounced foul through the first base coaching box. Tickets still available for Saturday night at Indians.com or use the Ballpark app. And, of course, Sunday's gone from a day game to a night game. Now the 2-2 pitch. High and wide, full count. ESPN will be televising that on Ocho Cinco, as they'll run NFL highlights on their other 5 networks. Here's the payoff pitch from Turnbull to Bowers. Swing and a miss. Boy, he's pulling off it again and just trying to crush home runs, and Turnbull gets his second strikeout. 2 down in the second inning. No score for the catcher, Roberto Perez. You would love to see Jake Bowers take the Roberto Perez approach, and that is really try to go gap to gap, because Bowers has enough power to do damage the other way, and that's what's made Roberto Perez invaluable this year. Almost, really, when you look at the Indians ball club, Rosie, this guy might be the most indispensable part on the Indians team. Perez taking a called strike, what he does catching, and now hitting .240, 23 homers, 60 RBIs.
And we had him on the warm-up show tonight, Tom, and he said he went through that stretch in August, but he stayed with his plan, which maybe in years past he wouldn't have.
The 0-1, 1-1 the count, pitch down and away. A lot of guys have a plan, and they leave it in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, and he went through a stretch where the base hits weren't falling, but he was a little beat up at the time, and he started to feel better, get his legs under him, and he stayed with that plan the whole time, and now he's hitting again.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball is in there, 1-2. That's the mark of a disciplined and mature player. That's the old adage. When Tyson was in his heyday, everybody had a plan until Tyson hit him in the mouth. Now the 1-2 pitch. Down and away, 2-2. You've got to be able to take some shots and stick with the plan, because you know it's the right thing, and easier said than done. And that's why Perez is, name me a guy that's been much better as an all-around catcher in the game. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Wow. I'll tell you what, when Turnbull hits the spots like he did, well, that's...
Results may vary.
Well, this is a kid the Tigers are very high on, catcher Jake Rogers. Third inning, no score, and Aaron Savali misses wide, ball 1. Rogers hitting just a .115 with the Tigers. Had a pretty good year in the minors. Savali's pitch, and it's outside, ball 2, 2-0. Rogers with the Tigers hitting .115, 4 homers, 8 RBIs. The next delivery, and it's in tight, 3-0. Rogers can really throw. They love his potential as a catcher, but he's going to have to hit better. Now the 3-0 pitch, and he took all the way a strike. He was one of the key pieces in the Justin Verlander trade between Houston and Detroit 2 summers ago. The 3-1, swing and a little dribbler foul, third base side, full count. Boy, right now, that's a lopsided trade, but give it time. Jake Rogers, Daz Cameron, and Franklin Perez, all youngsters in that deal, still need an opportunity. Payoff pitch, bang toward third, fair ball. Right over the base, down the left field line into foul territory, kicks off the sidewall. Allen's throw to second, feet first slide, and a double for Jake Rogers, his third. Obviously, Verlander has been even better than maybe even Houston anticipated. Helped them win it all in 2017, and Verlander could win the Cy Young this year, and he shows no signs of slowing down. And the Tigers have to hope that at least one of those 3 youngsters comes through. Rogers with a leadoff double, so the Tigers have had a triple and a double. No score in the third inning for the number 9 hitter, Willie Castro, switch hitter batting left-handed. The former Indians farmhand bunts it foul, third base side, strike 1. He was holding that bat angled to foul territory on the third base side. That ball never had a chance to go fair. Castro hit .301 in the minor leagues, .222 in the major leagues. That was just an awful bunt attempt. And if you're Willie Castro, you got to be able to get a bunt down. And that bunt never had a chance with the bad angle that he had. Indians up at the corners looking for the bunt. The set by Savali. And the pitch, Castro bunts it better toward the mound. Savali looks to third. He'll get the out at first. Well, good adjustment by Castro. And he gets the sacrifice bunt down. Rogers goes to third, one down. Boy, it's kind of interesting, though, that Ron Gardenhire is playing for one run here in the third inning. But at this point, Gardy has run out of ideas on how to beat the Indians, losing so far this year 16 of the 17 encounters. Now the Tigers turn it back over, top of the order. The Indians bring the infield part way in for the switch-hitting Victor Reyes, batting left-handed. Reyes ropes one to right. Puig makes the shoulder-high catch. Here's the throw to the plate on the tag by Rogers, way up the third base line. Tigers lead 1-0. So, sacrifice fly. Good situational baseball by Detroit. Leadoff double, bunt him over to third, and a line drive out to right goes as a sac fly. Reyes' 21st run batted in. Puig's throw was at least 40 feet up the third baseline. The Indians appeal that Rogers left early at third, but no dice, says Adam Hamari, the third base ump. So it stays 1-0 Detroit. Bases empty, 2 down. Harold Castro, the batter. Castro, left-handed hitter. 1-0 Detroit, third inning, 2 down. The pitch, and it's on the corner, a strike. Lyft is the official rideshare partner of the Indians. They'll make getting to and from the ballpark a home run. Download Lyft today and get going. The next delivery, swing and a miss on a slow curve, and the count 0-2. In the previous 17 meetings in which the Indians have gone 16-1, the average score has been 6-2 Cleveland. The pitch, in tight, a fastball straightened them up, 1-2. The Tigers have been shut out 5 times by the Indians, but not tonight. 1-0 Detroit, third inning. Now the 1-2. Swing and a foul back. We'll do it again at 1-2. The end of the motion. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ripped on, one hop to second. Handled there by the Indians. Freeman handcuffed him, but he stuck with it and throws out Castro. Boy, that ball was scalded. So
WTAM 1100.
Ryan Flaherty is hitting 9th today and playing third base for the Indians. It's a 1-0 ball game. Tigers on top, bottom of the third. The right-hander Spencer Turnbull delivers, and Flaherty takes a strike. Flaherty, a former star at Vanderbilt under the legendary Tim Corbin. What a program that has been down through the years. The 0-1. Flaherty swings and misses at a slider that almost hit him in the foot. 0-2. Well, it's the Liberty Ford Grand Slam giveaway inning, and tonight's contestant, James Ellis of Chardon. He'll win the Ford Mustang convertible from Liberty Ford if the Indians get a Grand Slam here in the third. Good luck to James Ellis of Chardon. Turnbull's pitch sails high, 1-2. Flaherty had 19 homers and 73 RBIs with the Clippers, but 0 for 8 with the Indians. Spencer Turnbull looks awfully sharp here in the early going. 1-0 Detroit, third inning. Now the windup by the youngster, and the pitch swung on, fouled back, got it in on the thumbs, and he's done a great job tonight, especially with 2 strikes, of jamming both the right-handed and left-handed hitters.
He's got a good tempo going, and the Tigers people were saying, hey, if he works quickly, that's a good sign because he's not thinking about the mechanics too much, just letting it rip, and he has been doing that tonight.
And the 1-2. Swung on, line to center field, and the first hit is an Indian for Ryan Flaherty. Now, he's been around, played a number of years in the big leagues, especially with Baltimore, but That first hit with any new team is always kind of a weight off your shoulders. Here's Frankie Lindor, switch hitter. He'll bat left-handed, and Frankie 2 for 19 on this homestand. And, well, again, fair or not, the Indians' offense goes as Frankie goes. The Indians trailing the Tigers 1-0. They get a leadoff base hit here in the third. Here's the set by Turnbull and the pitch to Lindor. Shift to the right, and Lindor grounds it foul by first base coach Sandy Alomar. Well, it's that time of the year. It's autumn, but it's fall ball all around the country. Although some of the schools in the South do their fall ball a little bit later because, well, the weather's better, longer. The 0-1. And it's down low, kicks away from Rogers. The wild pitch enables Flaherty to go to second. And the count now 1-1 on Frankie Lindor. But in this part of the country, fall ball is going on at all the colleges in the area. And good to hear from one of the great scouts in this area for the New York Yankees, Mike Gibbons. He was with the Rockies, Ed Santa, with the Oakland A's, Richie Sparks, with the Indians, Bob Mayer. All of them today were at Scout Day at Youngstown State. The 1-1 pitch, and it's swung on, and Lindor lofts one in the air toward left, down the line, near the tarp, foul ground. It drops before anybody can get there, and the count 1-2. And those are some of the best scouts you'll ever come across when you talk about Mike Gibbons and Eddie Santa and Richie Sparks and Bob Mayer and so many all around the country doing their due diligence. Believe it or not, they're already scouting the college kids for next June's draft. That's how early it starts. So travel safely, guys, and great to hear from Mike Gibbons, also one of the great people in the game. Now the 1-2, and it's down low, 2-2. Ran into one of his fellow scouts tonight. Pat Murtaugh is in town. He's pro advanced scout with the New York Yankees. So Mike Gibbons and Pat Murtaugh hoping they can add another championship ring to their mantle, and that could certainly happen, as good as the Yankees have been all season long. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, drilled, foul, third base side by Lindor, still 2-2. Well, it's going to be interesting, Rosie, and who knows how autumn shakes out. That's the beauty of our sport, along with the National Hockey League and March Madness, college basketball. Those postseasons are the most unpredictable in sports. Here's the set by Turnbull and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, the slider was a wicked one in on the back foot of Lindor, and he's just scuffling right now. He just doesn't look like he's seeing the ball real well. Lindor has become Turnbull's fourth strikeout victim. One down in the third, 1-0 Detroit. Here's Oscar Mercado. But say it comes down to New York and Houston. Right now, they're the two best teams in the American League. In the playoffs, if they ever did meet, that would be the battle of one of the best rotations in the game against the best bullpen in the game. Yankees starters might go 2-3 innings. Houston be counting on maybe complete games from their starters. Oscar Mercado takes down an in, and who that could go a long way in what is the next trend for Major League Baseball.
I remember in 16 when Terry Francona started using Andrew Miller mid-game and not really caring about a closer, just the highest leverage situation, and then everyone started doing that.
Here's the set by Turnbull and the 1-0. It's swung on, sliced foul to the right, 1-1. The Indians did it out of necessity. They were down to two starters, Corey Kluber and Josh Tomlin. Danny Salazar and Carlos Carrasco were hurt late in that season, and of course, people forget how good Trevor Bauer was in beating Boston in Game 1 of the division series. He started that game here. Corey Kluber went Game 2. Bauer was dominant and then played with the drone, and, well, you know how the rest of that October went for Trevor Bauer. So Tito's reliance on the bullpen was because of 3 injuries to starters. The pitch, Mercado hits one foul down the right side, 1-2 the count. The Yankees, of course, they don't have time to get Luis Severino out to 100 pitches. And quite frankly, the rest of their rotation's been very, very iffy.
Yeah, Aaron Boone saying yesterday they may have some games where they piggyback starters.
How about
use
that?
2 starters and see how it goes. But you're right. If they can get the game to the 3rd, they might be able to finish a bunch of games with that bullpen, and then you have off days in the postseason, so it works.
Now the set, now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, again, a sinker in on the thumbs of Mercado. 5 strikeouts for Turnbull. We have not seen him be this good in his previous 5 starts against the Indians this year. And for a youngster to be able to work both sides of the plate with his fastball, that's impressive. Now Carlos Santana, infield hit to third his first time up. Flaherty is still down at second base, but now there are 2 men out. Tribe trailing the Tigers 1-0 here in the 3rd. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Santana takes a ball outside. Everstream's the business-only fiber network. They believe business deserves better. Join the business-only fiber network. Everstream, faster fiber, better business. If you didn't hear, Oakland walked off Kansas City 1-0 in 11 innings today. So they stay atop the wild card in the American League. Santana looks at an off-speed pitch for a strike, 1-1. Boy, Kansas City played Oakland tough again today. And Oakland wins 1-0 in 11 innings on a game-winning hit by a guy that kind of flies under the radar, Mark Canha. And the Oakland A's are sitting there with 92 wins. They're 31 games above 500. Now the 1-1 pitch, and it's down low, ball 2-1 the count. Well, what did Oakland win last year? Was it 97 games?
And had to go on the road.
In the wild card.
Yeah. And most of those wins seemingly in the second half of the season. They are a good second-half team, or have been in recent seasons.
Shift to the right side of the infield. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, 2-2. Terry Francona would like to see a week lopped off the season. Go back to 154 games. Make up that revenue by having the wild card playoffs be a best of 3. All the games at the number 1 seeded site in 2 days. Day-night doubleheader, and a 3rd game if needed the 2nd day. That's how you play baseball all year long. Who's got the best team? The 2-2. Swung on a looping liner into shallow center field. Base hit! This will tie the game. Flaherty's on his way home, and Carlos Santana with a career best 90 runs batted in, and it's a 1-1 ball game. And Santana just keeps delivering when the Indians need it most. He is 2 for 2, and this ball game is tied at 1 for Yasiel Puig. Terry Francona was saying, 1, you would start the playoffs a week earlier, which would also give you a better chance of better weather for the World Series. And he said, make there be an incentive to be the number 1 wild card seed. You'd get all 3 games, if needed, at your place in a 2-day period. He said, think how baseball would take over the sports world with day-night doubleheaders in the wild card scenarios. Here's Puig taking a check swing, and the ball glanced off his bat, strike 1. It wouldn't delay the other teams only another day from starting the division series. But then Tito also said, now the wild card winner has been punished when they go to the number 1 seed that's earned the right to play a team that might be tired or a little short on pitching based on what the number 1 seed did all year long. I think it's a great idea, and it makes it more baseball-like, a best of 3 in the wild card. The pitch waved at 0-2, but then Tito also said, from that point on, best of 7. No best of 5. Make it a best of 7 Division Series, ALCS, World Series.
And for a team like the Indians, they go 5 deep in their starting rotation, might not hurt them as much.
Now the set, now the 0-2 pitch to Puig. Swung on, banged into left field. That's a base hit. Santana stops at second. The other thing it would get you away from, the Pirates had such good teams there a few years back. They get into a wild card situation, and they don't have a guy as good as Madison Bumgarner, and that gave San Francisco the edge no matter where that game was played. So Tito's point is, now you've got additional revenue from the playoff games that everybody wants to watch anyway. And he said he likes the added wild card team. He just thinks one game isn't how you play baseball. And he also thinks it should be a best of 7 in the division series. And now really you have a better chance of your better teams depth-wise winning the way it should be.
And can you imagine a day-night doubleheader on Wild Card Day down here, downtown?
Yep.
I mean, the place, bars, restaurants, packed between games would be awesome.
Well, it makes sense, so you won't see it happen.
No.
Game tied at 1, 2 out, 2 on. Here's Mike Freeman, struck out his first time. Turnbull's pitch. Freeman swings and misses at a slider in the dirt, strike 1. I like the idea, too, of starting the playoffs earlier. We're flirting with these November games. We saw how lucky the Indians were, but yet Game 7 was still interrupted at the most critical time by rain. But how many November 2nd days do you get 80-degree weather?
Well, in the 97 series, that was no picnic here.
No, it was called snow.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on, fouled back, 0-2. Now, that's a fluke. That was October, but still. I think the other thing is you keep baseball on the front burner and day-night doubleheaders. Oh, man. Well, whatever. It's Terry Francona's proposal. This guy's one of the greatest managers in the history of the game. You would think somebody would listen. Game tied 1-1. Santana at second. Puig at first. 2 down. Third inning. Freeman down in the count 0-2. Turnbull is ready. Here it comes. And he got him swinging at a pitch in the dirt. Boy, his slider was good again. So Turnbull.
AM 1100.
Aaron Savali back to work. First pitch swinging. Miguel Cabrera skies one to center. Back on it to make the catch is Oscar Mercado. 1 pitch, 1 down. A lot of first pitch swinging by the Tigers. And again, this is the 3rd time that they have faced Aaron Savali. So they know he's going to be around the plate. That's his MO. And they're trying to get on him early in the count, but not much success so far. It's a 1-1 game. We're in the 4th. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton. Great to have you with us on a perfect night for baseball in downtown Cleveland. Kristen Stewart, the batter. Savali delivers. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Stephanie Hagel, our on-site engineer here in the booth. And Brian Matze is back at Command Center tonight. Here comes the 0-1 to Stewart. And it slips outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Stewart bounced to first his first time up. Left-handed hitter with pop. 10 home runs. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball just missed outside. And the count moves to 2-1 on Stewart. A perennial top prospect for the Tigers. Now in the big leagues, the 2-1. Curveball drops in there for a strike. Dawel Lugo waits on deck for Detroit. Long look in here by Savali. Now the right-hander's into the line. Here's his pitch. Swung on line, down the right side, headed to the corner, and it bounces up against the wall. On his way to second is Stewart. It's fired in, the ball by Puig, but not in time. Stewart's in with a stand-up double. And the Tigers have a potential go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 4th. Double number 24 on the season for Kristen Stewart. Well, next time you're here at the ballpark, and there's not much time left here in the regular season, make sure you enjoy a mango and black cherry White Claw hard seltzer. It's available at many of the grab-and-go locations, including the gluten-free stand in section 153 here at the ballpark. White Claw hard seltzer, made pure. Go easy on that, Motts. Dawel Lugo steps in, takes a strike. Motts gets into the hard seltzer. It could be a rough last couple innings. Well, we'll do our best. Lugo, right-handed batter. 6 home runs on the season. Been on a real nice stretch here the last month or so. Up there now is Stewart, the base runner at second. Savali delivers. Swung on. That's tapped slowly foul up the third baseline. And it counts quickly 0-2 on Dawel Lugo. Facing Aaron Savali, who has had some kind of rookie season for the Indians. This is 9th start with the Tribe. He came up, made that debut against the Tigers in June, then sent back to AAA, but recalled in early August, and he's been terrific. About as consistent as you can be as a rookie pitcher. A lot of veterans would take his consistency. The 0-2 breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3. Lugo tried to check it, couldn't do it. He's a strikeout victim. That's the third for Aaron Savali. Brandon Dixon will step in with 2 down and a runner at second. Dominion Energy would like to remind you, whether you're an individual or contractor, state law requires that you call 811 before you dig to have those underground utilities marked. It's simple and free. Just dial 811 at least 2 business days prior to digging for your safety. Here's Dixon, struck out first time up. The pitch from Savali. Swung on, fouled back for strike 1. Big rip by Dixon, who leads the Tigers in home runs with 15. And he's second on the club in RBIs with 51. Gone are the days of, heavy power from Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez. Prince Fielder for a while. Man, the Tigers lineup was hard to deal with for a long stretch. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball down low, and the count's now 1-1 on Dixon. 1-1 the score. Tigers have a run on 3 base hits. Indians 1 run on 5 hits. Both teams playing errorless baseball. Outfield shading Dixon to the opposite field. Pretty big gap in left center and down the left field line. The 1-1 swung on, and that's lined to shallow left center, sinking fast, falls in for a base hit. They're going to try and score Lugo. The throw by Allen's a beauty. The slide, and he's out of there. Roberto Perez held his ground, and he applied the tag on Lugo. Perez slow to get up, but he does make it to his feet, and he will walk slowly back to the Indians' dugout as Greg Allen made a strong throw from shallow left. He was charging in on a softly hit single to left, and his throw.
News, talk, and sports on WTAM 1100 can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Well, Greg Allen, who made that strong throw to keep this a 1-1 ball game in the top half of the inning, he leads it off in the bottom of the 4th. Facing Spencer Turnbull, who leaves a pitch down low for a ball. 1-1 the count on Allen, who flied to right his first time up. A pretty good collision at home plate on that throw by Allen, gunning down Dawel Lugo. The pitch swung on, and there's a high fly ball, shallow right. Creeping in, the right fielder, and making the catch is Demerit. Allen's retired, 1 down. Jake Bowers will be the batter. Looked like Roberto Perez got back to the dugout okay, and he's out in the on-deck circle. But, boy, talking to Roberto before the game, he's been banged up all year, a variety of ailments, an ankle issue, and he's just spending a ton of time in the trainer's room trying to keep things strong leg-wise the rest of the way, and it has been a challenge for him, and he just got in a pretty good collision at home plate right there, but it looks like he's okay. Here's Jake Bauers, takes a pitch down low for a ball. Turnbull right back with a 1-0, and Bauers swings and loops it foul back on the net behind home plate. That'll even the count at 1-1. Bauers struck out his first time up. 6 strikeouts for Spencer Turnbull into the 4th inning. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, line drive on a couple of hops to the second baseman, Castro, who smothers it and throws on to first for the out. Nice play by Harold Castro, the second baseman. A hard hit 2-hopper. And he comes up with it to retire Bauers for the second out in the inning. Whether you're shipping from Cleveland or shipping through Cleveland, choose Global Transport, Northeast Ohio's preferred provider for transportation and logistics management. Here's Roberto Perez. Struck out first time up. 1-1 the score, bottom half of the 4th inning. Turnbull delivers. Waved at and missed. Strike 1. Good off speed that time from Spencer Turnbull, who has shown the good fastball with some sink to it. Plenty firm at 94 miles an hour most of the time. And his breaking stuff has been solid as well. He's into the windup. Here comes his 0-1. And it's outside. Did he check it? Nope. Perez went too far, and it's 0-2 on Roberto Perez. With 2 down, bases empty. Perez with the 23 home runs, 60 runs driven in. He has absolutely obliterated his career best for a single season. Here's his 0-2. And Turnbull leaves it high and outside for a ball. 1-2 the count on Roberto Perez. Outfield plays him to the opposite field, and that's where his good power is, to right and right center. Right-handed hitter. Turnbull's into the wind. Here's his pitch. Breaking ball, waved at and missed. Strike 3, and the Indians go quickly and quietly.
This is Bill Wills. We'll plug you into what's going on first thing tomorrow morning here on Cleveland's Morning News with Wills and Snyder, WTAM 1100.
Aaron Savali back to work for the Indians in a 1-1 game. We've reached the 5th here at Progressive Field. Be sure to stop by your Northern Ohio Buick and GMC dealers when you have a chance. They still have exceptional offers on 2019 models. Travis Demeritte leads things off for the Tigers. The first pitch to him is in there for strike 1. Demeritte fly to center his first time up. Acquired from the Braves at the trade deadline. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, just missed, low and outside. Demeritte was in the Shane Green trade. The Braves looking for bullpen help at the deadline. Picked up the Tigers closer, the 1-1. Breaking ball down low, 2-1. And the Tigers got a young man who had not yet played in the major leagues, but he has now, making his major league debut this season. Adding to their outfield inventory. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, cued, slowly foul outside of first base. And the count's now 2-2 on Travis Demeritte. Major league debut came August the 2nd at Texas. His first base hit was a triple. Just the 4th Tiger since 1908 to hit a triple in his major league debut. Tigers like the Indians. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, looped foul and out of play. Detroit, like Cleveland, a charter member of the American League. So when you talk franchise history, you're going back to 1901. Two and two the count on Demeritte. Savali with the long look in. And now time is called. Aaron Savali right now at 55 pitches, so he's been fairly economical so far getting to this point in the game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball inside. 3-2 the count. Jake Rogers is next, and then Willie Castro as Savali works through the bottom third of this Tiger lineup. Now the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good cut fastball, got him. Demerit down on strikes, the 4th for Aaron Civale. Indians baseball is always live with MLB At Bat. You can follow the action with game tracking, live radio, up-to-the-moment stats, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. It's your #1 Indians app. Tribe and Tigers tied at 1. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Jake Rogers takes a fastball outside. Oakland has already won today. They defeated Kansas City 1-0 in 11 innings. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball to center. Not all that deep. Circling under it is Mercado, and Oscar Mercado makes the catch for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down. Wow Internet has no data caps and super fast speeds at a great price. They keep the amazing sports fans in Willowick and Wickliffe connected to what matters. That's sports, family, and life. Check out the offer details at Wowway.com. Here's the number 9 hitter, Willie Castro, and he takes a breaking ball outside, ball 1. So Oakland will stay at 61 losses. The Indians at 63 losses, tied with Tampa Bay for second in the wild card standings. There's a swing and a ground ball to short. Up with it, Lindor fires to first in time for the out on the speedy Willie Castro. Civale sets him down in order in the
Twitter.
It's where it's at.
WTAM 1100.
Time for the Cleveland Clinic Caregiver Shout Out. The good folks at the clinic want to remind you that September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. 1 in 6 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. Make an appointment with a Cleveland Clinic urologist by visiting clevelandclinic.org/prostate. Ryan Flaherty leads things off for the Indians. Number 9 hitter in Terry Francona's lineup tonight. Singled his first time up. Spencer Turnbull delivers, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back. Quickly the count 1-1 on Flaherty. Major League veteran who spent this season with Columbus until the September call-ups. Turnbull's into the wide. Here comes his 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball low and in, and the count's now 2-1. Our game is tied at 1. Tigers got on the scoreboard in the top of the 3rd inning. A sac fly by Victor Reyes made it 1-0 Detroit. Indians tied it on an RBI single by Carlos Santana in the bottom of the 3rd. Next pitch to Flaherty is fouled off. 2-2 the count on Ryan Flaherty, playing third base tonight. Left-handed batter facing Spencer Turnbull. Right-hander into the wide. Here comes his 2-2 delivery. Fastball high and outside. It's 3-2. Turnbull up to 79 pitches now as he starts the 5th inning. Now the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled away. That's off to the third base side, out of play. Spencer Turnbull, a rarity, seemingly in today's game, a rookie pitcher who's still going strong into the month of September. Boy, you look around baseball and there are so many young pitchers and teams struggling to find starting pitching down the stretch. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, that's tapped to third. Up with it, Lugo fires across the diamond in time for the out. Flaherty's retired for the first out in the inning. Back to the top of the lineup, Francisco Lindor. Time for the injury report. It's presented by the lawyers at Elk & Elk. For a team of injury lawyers who protect every client every day, call Elk & Elk at 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And on the injury front, good news on Brad Hand and a good bullpen session today. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, but certainly a positive session for Hand today. Jose Ramirez. A lot of baseball activities today as Lindor takes a pitch down low for a ball. Fielding ground balls, running the bases, did not hit on the field today. But he's coming back from that hamate bone surgery and making good progress. Still no timetable, though. Here's the 1-0. And Lindor slaps it through the left side, a base hit into left center field. And again, the shift does not pay off for the Tigers. If they play Lindor straight up, that's a ground ball to the shortstop, but they played the percentages, and Lindor said, no percentages here, and he singles his first hit tonight. He's now 1 for 3. And he just took what Turnbull gave him, a pitch on the outer part of the plate, and slapped it just to the left of center. For the Indians, with a 1-out base runner, here's Oscar Mercado. Mercado is 0 for 2. He has bounced back to the mound and struck out. Indians now with 6 hits on the night. The pitch swung on, wrapped foul outside of third base. 0-1 the count on Mercado. Also on the injury list, out for the year, Jason Kipnis. And I kept talking to the media downstairs before the game, pretty matter of fact about it. It could very well be the end of his Cleveland career, a career that he is deservedly so very proud of, as the pitch is up high, but swung on and missed by Mercado. He could not hold off. Indians have a club option to pick up on Kipnis, and they could decline that and still have him come back if they feel he's a fit here for next season's ball club. 0-2 the count on Mercado. But certainly a tough stretch for Jason Kipnis, as he injured that hand in Sunday's game right here against the Twins. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball down low. Did he check it? He did. And the count's now 1-2 on Mercado. Boy, you talk about a hot hitter. Oscar Mercado, 8-game hit streak going. Last 12 games, 7 multi-hit games, including last night. Hasn't timed up Spencer Turnbull yet, but he's had good success against him. Coming into play tonight, he was 5 for 11 against Turnbull this season. Long set. And now time is called. Turnbull trying to keep Lindor close without a throw to first, just trying to disrupt his jump. Jake Rogers behind the plate, throwing out 38% of the opposing base stealers. Smaller sample size, but certainly that is his reputation, a good defensive catcher. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good stop by Rogers, and he kept it in front of him. No advance by Lindor. So it's 2-2 on Oscar Mercado. On the Tigers side of things, injury-wise, Michael Fulmer missed the season. Tommy John surgery. They lost Nico Goodrum, who was a key part of their club. Jacoby Jones, left wrist fracture. Miguel Cabrera's been playing hurt. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, foul tip, and hung on to by Rogers. Wow, nice play by Rogers, the catcher, to hang on to that foul tip for strike 3. And Mercado is down on strikes for the second out in the inning. Strikeout number 8 for Spencer Turnbull. There's Carlos Santana. Drove in the Tribe run with a bloop base hit back in the third inning. He's 2 for 2. Lindor's at first. And let's see if they try and move Lindor up here. If Santana gives him a chance. The shift is on for Santana. The pitch to him. No movement by Lindor, and the pitch is up high for ball 1. 3 on that right side of the infield for Santana. A switch hitter in from the left side. Indians and Tigers tied at 1. Bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. And Santana takes a strike on the outside corner. Hey, download the McDonald's app, and if an Indians player steals a base tonight, you'll win a free 6-piece Chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. McDonald's on Lebanon. One and one the count. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, looped foul and out of play. Off to the left. Count moves to 1-2 on Carlos Santana. What a year it's been for Santana. 34 home runs, a career best 89 runs driven in. Up over 100 walks again at 104. And with the 2 hits tonight, the on-base percentage should creep back up over 400. Here's the 1-2. There goes Lindor. The pitch is low and in. The throw by Rogers is a beauty, and he gets him at second base on a throw from his knees. That caught stealing retires the
1100.
Results may vary.
Well, the Indians and the Detroit Tigers are in a good one. Game tied at 1 as we go to the 6th. Aaron Savali delivers, running to the front of the box as if to bunt. Victor Reyes takes inside a ball. The Tigers' leadoff hitter has struck out, and his sac fly to right, driving in the Tigers' only run in the 3rd. The next pitch swung on, fouled back, 1-1. The Indians' run came also in the 3rd. Ryan Flaherty singled and eventually scored on a Carlos Santana RBI single. That's your ball game. The pitch. Reyes bounces one to first, fielded by Bowers behind the bag. He'll run to the bag for the out. 1 down. Aaron Savali, what else is new? His 9th major league start. And Aaron Savali, so far, if you include tonight, Aaron Savali has never given up more than 2 earned runs in his 9 major league starts. Astounding. Here's Harold Castro on a triple and a ground out, and he takes, it's in there, a strike. Aaron Savali is just the 6th major league pitcher to do what he's doing. That pitch swung on a weak ground ball to the second baseman. Freeman scoops, throws, 2 down. I mean, stop and think how many guys have pitched in the major leagues. And Aaron Savali is the 6th major league pitcher and the first since 1910 to go at least 5 innings or more and allow 2 runs or fewer in his first 8 major league appearances. And now he's adding a 9th. 2 down, Miguel Cabrera takes inside a ball. To be that consistent and that good in your major league season, unheard of. Now the 1-0 pitch. Cabrera taking a strike. It's 1-1. Only 4 major league pitchers. Here's the wind and the 1-1 in the dirt ball, 2-2-1. Only 4 major league pitchers have ever gone 5 innings or more and allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in their first 9 career appearances. The last was King Cole in 1909 and 1910. Cabrera fouls it back, 2-2. So we're talking about somebody that is doing something that hasn't been done in the major leagues in over 100 years. That's how good Aaron Savali has been to this point. Now the wind and the 2-2. Fouled straight back by Cabrera, and we'll do it again at 2-2. And tonight, Aaron Savali's been matched by fellow rookie Spencer Turnbull. He's been just as good. Savali has struck out 4, not walked anybody. Turnbull has struck out 8, not walked anybody. And it's 1-1 in the 6th. That pitch down and in, full count. That's your Northern Ohio Ford dealers game summary. Ford is America's best-selling brand. Cabrera, a ground out, a fly out. Now the payoff pitch in a 1-1 game in the 6th. And it's ball 4 down and away. Savali loses Miguel Cabrera. That'll bring up Christian Stewart. Savali tonight has been averaging 12 pitches per inning. And in a situation where the Indians are monitoring his innings going down the stretch and monitoring the intensity of his innings, this is as good as it gets. Indians overload the right side of the infield for the left-handed hitting left fielder. Stewart checks on a pitch high, ball 1. Well, birthday wishes going out to Geraldine Connor. 100 years young today. Geraldine, a longtime Indians fan living in Canton. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And it's a strike on a fastball to the outer edge, 1-1. So we understand Geraldine Connor listens to the Indians each and every day, and we can't wish you anything but the very best of the coming year, Geraldine. The pitch swung on, cued foul, third base side. We thank you for being such a great Indians fan, and what a life for Geraldine Connor, 100 years young today. Happy birthday, Geraldine. Indians and the Tigers in a 1-1 game. 6th inning, Cabrera at first with 2 down. It'll take a home run to score Cabrera. Now the 1-2. Backdoored him and missed with a curveball, 2-2. Tigers averaging 2 runs a game this year against the Indians in 18 games. Now the set by Savali. Now the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3, 3-2. And the Tigers have had that futile stretch against the Indians this year, and most of the time not facing Kluber, Carrasco, and Clevenger due to injuries. Now Savali's payoff pitch. Cabrera will be running, and it's swung on, and a weak fly ball to shallow center. Charging hard is Mercado, and he'll get there. And the Indian center fielder runs it down, and just 79.
Geraldo in Cleveland.
Am I a journalist?
Tomorrow morning from 9 to 10
Or a celebrity?
on WTAM 1100.
Well, the Tigers go to their bullpen, and a terrific outing by Spencer Turnbull. This was his 6th start against the Indians, and easily his most impressive. Now, Turnbull will not end his losing streak, but he won't add to it. He cannot lose tonight's game, but still means he's lost 11 straight and hasn't won since the last day of May. But man, was he impressive tonight. Turnbull went 5 innings, giving up 1 run on 6 hits, struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. And the Tigers have to be thrilled with his effort tonight. Now, David McKay, a right-hander, is on to face Carlos Santana, batting left-handed. Game tied at 1, 6th inning, and Santana looks at a first pitch strike. Carlos Santana, 2 singles, and drove in the Indians' only run. The set, and McKay's next offering is swung on, fouled off to the right. 0-2 the count. Indians are going to see a lot of these Tigers for the first time. McKay comes set and now steps off. David McKay was with the Seattle Mariners earlier this season. Now the 0-2 pitch, and it's down and in, missed with a breaking ball, 1-2. So McKay on the year has made 21 appearances, 14 with Detroit, 7 with Seattle. No decisions, an ERA of 5.09. He's a guy that has a hard time throwing strikes. The set by McKay and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lofted in the air. Third base side, Lugo in foul ground will make the catch. So Santana fouls out to the third baseman, Here's Yasiel Puig. He has a couple of singles in tonight's game. Power Home Solar is the official solar provider of the Indians, building a movement. Visit Power Home Solar. And you can visit powerhome.com, or you can text solar 411-411. Power Home Solar, own your power. Oakland A's won their game today, so they stay the wild card leader in the American League. They had to go to 11 innings before they beat Kansas City 1-0. Yasiel Puig has singled to right center, singled to left. The set, the pitch. And Puig sends one high in the air to shallow right. Demerit is coming in, and that is out number 2. That'll bring up Mike Freeman, 2 strikeouts tonight. Tampa Bay leads the Dodgers 1-0 in the second inning. Dodgers have wrapped up their division title, and as far as home field advantage is concerned, nobody is catching the Dodgers for the National League home field advantage. Atlanta's 5 games in back of the Dodgers. The Dodgers are 1 game in back of the Yankees and Astros for overall home field advantage, which would include the World Series. Now the set by David McCain, the pitch to Mike Freeman, and it's in there, a strike, 0-1 the count. A gorgeous fall-like night off the shores of Lake Erie. 1-1 game in the 6th. The 0-1 backdoor curve and a beauty. 0-2 the count. 77 degrees. Flags barely rippling out in right center. Now the 2-strike delivery. A swing and a liner to left, base hit. He tried again to go backdoor with a curveball, and this time Freeman stayed on it and shot it the other way. A 2-out single. So the Indians have a runner on in the 6th. Greg Allen, 2 flyouts to right. He'll bat left-handed. Good piece of hitting by Mike Freeman. The Indians and the Tigers tied at 1. The Indians won 91 games last year when they won their 3rd straight division title. They're sitting at 88 coming into this one. 10 games left after tonight. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Allen taking. It's downstairs, ball 1. Somebody in the American League is not going to make the playoffs, and that somebody will probably have 95 wins or so. Now the 1-0. Allen waves at it. Pitch in on his hands. And the count 1-1. Tiger pitchers tonight, Turnbull and now McKay, have really done a good job working in on hitters. And they're consistently coming in on hitters, right-handed or left-handed. Now the 1-1. And Allen swings, chops it foul, right side. Another pitch in on his hands. And a ball and 2 strikes. The only thing he could do is what he did, hit it foul. The Indians this year have hit 28 homers in the first 17 games against Detroit. Batting .301 against Detroit. Averaging 6 runs a game against Detroit. But not tonight. Now the 1-2 pitch. Down and in, and it goes to the backstop. Rogers should have caught that ball. That might be a pass ball. Go ahead run at second now with 2 down. And it is a pass ball on Rogers. So the Indians have a runner in scoring position with 2 down in the 6th and a 1-1 game. And a 2-2 count on Allen. David McKay. He's ready. Hands chest high. Fires. Allen taps it foul at the plate. And we will do it again at 2-2. We got time. Let's do it now. 10 seconds for station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
Rob Bailey in the newsroom. The Federal Reserve cutting interest rates. More coming up after the game on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze, and Stephanie Hagel. Game tied at 1, sixth inning, the pitch. And it's again fouled off right side. And again, Allen was really jammed. And Detroit's game plan has been executed very well here tonight by Turnbull and now McKay. And that is trying to tie up Indians hitters with pitches in on their thumbs. 2-2 the count on Greg Allen. The next pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Got him with a curveball. So the Indians and the Tigers still deadlocked at 1. Boy, what a job by Aaron Savali. Game tied at 1, seventh inning. Indians' pen is quiet. Tigers have right-hander Brian Garcia warming. It'll be Dalwell Lugo, the right-handed hitting third baseman, opening up the seventh. The pitch, and he drives one foul on a play to the right, strike one. Aaron Savali has struck out 4, has walked 1. He's given up 1 run on 4 hits. Lugo takes down and away 1-1. 6 inning totals. Detroit, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors, 3 left. And the Cleveland Indians, 1 run, 7 hits, no errors, 5 stranded. Lugo bounces one to the shortstop, Frankie Lindor, who has no trouble retiring him. Tigers haven't hit that many balls hard since the early innings. Brandon Dixon, 1 for 2 with a single, steps to the plate. The longest outing for Savali in his major league career was 7 innings against these Tigers in Motown on August 28th. Gave up 2 runs in 7 innings in that game. Tigers have had enough of Savali. Brandon Dixon bangs it sharply on the ground up the middle. The second baseman Freeman has it and throws him out. This is Savali's 3rd start against Detroit, and in 3 starts he has given up 3 runs to the Tigers. So it's not like the Tigers don't know what they're going to see from Savali. But when you can make the ball move to each side of the plate with sinkers, with cutters, curveballs, sliders, and changeups, Travis Demeritte takes a strike on the inside corner with a fastball, and you never miss your spots or seldom miss them. Doesn't matter how many times the hitter sees you. The pitch, down low, ball 1-1. This is how Greg Maddux did it. Now, this is not comparing Savali to Greg Maddux. By no means. The 1-1, swing and a foul at the plate, 1-2. But Savali, like Maddux, doesn't blow you away. Low 90s with a fastball, but when you can manipulate the baseball the way he does and be able to throw it the way he does to each side of the plate, good luck. The pitch swung on line to right, but it's hanging up. Puig now reaches down and snags it shin high. Yasiel Puig doesn't do anything with
TAM 1100 can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Right-hander Brian Garcia will now enter. First time we have seen him. And Garcia takes over in a 1-1 ball game. The right-hander is out of the University of Miami, 6'1", 215. And Garcia, now 24 years of age, 6th round pick by the Tigers 3 years ago. And so Brian Garcia is on to pitch now for Detroit. Garcia making his 5th appearance. He's given up 7 runs in 3 2/3 innings. So to say it hasn't gone well would be an understatement. But it's his first opportunity on the big league level, so you keep that in mind. Right-hander facing Jake Bowers, the 7-hole hitter, has struck out, grounded out. Shift to the right, and Bowers takes a pitch away, ball 1. Scoreless inning for David McKay, gave up 1 hit. 1 run, 7 hits for the Indians. 1 run, 4 hits for the Tigers. Bottom of the 7th. The next delivery, and he shot for the outside corner and missed with a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the next delivery. And it's at the knees, a called strike. 2 balls and a strike on Bowers. Ryan Garcia. He's ready. And the pitch is way outside, 3-1. Garcia, he was the Miami Hurricanes closer for 3 seasons before the Tigers made him a 6th-round pick, but then he missed all of last year. He had Tommy John elbow surgery. 3-1 delivery. And it's high, and he walked him. So this is a case where the Tigers are trying to get a look at a kid that they think can be a part of their future in the back end of the bullpen. He, before Tommy John surgery, threw in the upper 90s. Also has a slider and a changeup. And this is a kid that his first year in pro ball, he had 6 saves. Here's Roberto Perez, 2 strikeouts. He's had good minor league numbers prior to the Tommy John surgery. The set. The pitch. A swing and a miss. Good slider. In his first 2 years in pro ball, he had 23 saves and a .220 ERA. And the opposition batted .196 against him. And he had 100 strikeouts in only 74 innings of work. But then the elbow injury. Now the pitch to Perez. And it's a fastball strike, 95 miles an hour. This is first year back pitching after the Tommy John surgery. And he had a .297 ERA with Toledo. Didn't strike out the percentage that he had in the past, but he's back healthy. Now the 0-2 to Perez. Up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There aren't a lot of kids that are closers in college that go in the 6th round of the draft. A lot of times those kids go a little bit later in the draft. Especially college-type closers, unless their stuff is just so off the charts. Now the set. Now the 1-2 to Perez. And he grounds one towards short. Castro to second one. The other Castro's relay in the dirt, and a great backhanded pick by Dixon at first. That's a 6-4-3 double play. Now Ryan Flaherty, 1 for 2 with a single, scored the Indians' only run in the 3rd. This game is tied up at 1, 2 down in the 7th. Dodgers now lead Tampa Bay 3-1. They've gone to the 3rd inning. Tampa and the Indians with the same number of losses. Oakland, the wild card leader, with 2 fewer defeats than the Indians in Tampa. And Oakland walked off Kansas City in 11 innings today, 1-0. Angels lead the Yankees 3-2, 7th inning. Here's the set and the pitch. Flaherty takes, it's over, but low, ball 1. If you want to know about Baltimore and Toronto, look on your phone. White Sox lead Minnesota 1-0. 5th inning. We're only going to give you the scores that mean anything. Houston, Texas, no score in the 4th. The pitch. Down and in, 2-0 the count. give you that score because Houston and the Yankees in that chase for home field advantage. National League, of course, it seems like every game has an impact on some race. Today, St. Louis beat Washington 5-1. Wainwright outpitched Scherzer. That's a huge win for the Cardinals trying to nail down the NL Central. The 2-0 pitch to Flaherty, and he hits a one-hopper to second. On the seat of his pants, Castro gloved it, throws in the dirt, and dug out again at first by Dixon. Oh, good play on both the part of Castro and Dixon. And Flaherty spanked it on one.
This is Bill Wills. Tomorrow morning at 8:45, we'll catch up with Jim Rosenhaus. Total Tribe coverage, WTAM 1100.
Aaron Savali, deepest he's ever gone in a game. The 8th inning, tied at 1. His first pitch swung on, bounced to third, chest-high hop handled by Flaherty. Throws out the catcher, Jake Rogers. And it's official. 7 1/3 innings, the longest Major League outing for rookie Aaron Savali. Indians have both right-hander Nick Goody and left-hander Oliver Perez warming. Why is Savali still out there? Because he's only had 88 pitches. He's been economical and stress-free for the most part. Castro batting left-handed, takes a sinker down and away. Castro sack, bunt, ground out. Tigers got their run in the third. Jake Rogers doubled, eventually scored on Victor Reyes' sack fly. The 1-0. Inside and low, 2-0. The Indians tied it in the third. Ryan Flaherty singled, eventually scored on a Carlos Santana 2-out single. And Savali, deja vu, pitching with very little run support. He delivers, and a pitch outside, a ball on a check swing, but he went around on the appeal at third. Castro not happy, and the count now swings to 2-1. Aaron Savali into the wind and the next offering, and it's golfed foul down the left side, 2-2. Aaron Savali has a 193 earned run average and yet a record of 3-3 because what you're seeing tonight is what he sees every time he's out there. Very little run support. The 2-2, just a bit wide, full count. Arizona beat Miami today 5-4, so they stay on the very fringes of the National League wild card chase. Same with the Mets. They beat Colorado 7-4. They're a long shot. The pitch swung on. A little weak fly ball to shallow left. Lindor out. Allen in. And Allen, the left fielder, retires Castro 2 down. Here comes Terry Francona to make a Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Philly leads Atlanta 3-1 in the 6th. San Diego shutting out Milwaukee 2-0 after 5. And the Reds and Cubs 1-1, 5th inning at Wrigley. Here the Indians and Tigers tied at 1 in the 8th inning. The Dodge Ram truck out of town scoreboard as a big hand for Aaron Savali coming to the third base dugout. Powers the all-new Ram 50. Well, the best outing in Aaron Savali's Major League career from a length standpoint. He is some kind of rookie, folks. He had never gone more than 7 innings. He had only gone 7 innings one time in his Major League career. So tonight he goes 7 2/3 innings. He gives up 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 4, walked 1, and he'll get another no decision. Batting right-handed, Victor Reyes. Oliver Perez delivers. The ball bunted back toward the mound. Perez stumbles, throws, got him! Tigers may challenge it. Bang, bang play at first. What did the Tigers want to do? Reyes tried to bunt his way on, and Perez kind of slipped when he got to that ball midway between the mound and home plate, but he made the play in the... Well, the veteran right-hander, Buck Farmer, is on the pitch. Boy, tonight has just been a tremendous ball game from a pitching standpoint, as both the Tigers and the Indians have delivered tremendous pitching performances, and this game is tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, top of the order for the Indians. Buck Farmer, fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. Indians have seen a lot of him down through the years. He's having a nice year. Top of the order, Frankie Lindor batting left-handed. And Lindor shatters his bat, grounds the first pitch to the second baseman, and Castro throws him out. Lindor 1 for 4 tonight. Here's Oscar Mercado. He is 0 for 3. Buck Farmer's having his best year in the big leagues. 69th appearance. He's 5-6 with a 4.09 ERA, 70 strikeouts in 61 innings. Another guy that played for the legendary Danny Hall at Georgia Tech. An Ohio native. Here's the set by Buck Farmer and the pitch to Mercado. And it's a check swing tapper to first. It's near the bag, fielded by Dixon. Steps on the bag, and that's two of the quickest outs you'll ever get. 2 pitches, 2 outs. And now Carlos Santana. Switch hitter batting left-handed, 2 singles and an RBI. 2 for 3. Game tied at 1, bottom of the 8th inning. Yes, the Indians have won 15 in a row against Detroit. But the Tigers by no means rolling over tonight. Here's the set by Farmer and the pitch. And it's in there, a called strike. The 1954 American League pennant-winning Indians beat Baltimore 17 times in a row in 1954. Now the 0-1 pitch, and it's inside a ball, 1-1. Unfortunately, those Indians were playing the New York Giants in the World Series. But it doesn't take away from an incredible year. Now the set and the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, bounced toward first. Big hop handled by Dixon. Underhand flip to the pitcher covering. A 5-pitch inning. 9th inning, game tied at 1. Oliver Perez zips one in there. Left on left as Harold Castro takes a strike. The second baseman and number 2 hitter. Oliver Perez got the final out in the 8th. The next delivery. And it's a breaking ball down and away, 1-1. Nick Goody getting ready in the Indians bullpen. Aaron Savali, longest major league outing. He went 7 2/3 tonight, giving up a run on 4 hits. Pat Castro cuts and misses, and the count 1-2. 9th inning in a 1-1 game, and, well, you know the situation. Indians need to win every night, it seems like. The pitch. Swing and a miss, slider away, and he got Castro to chase it. Now Miguel Cabrera will probably face Nick Goody, as Terry Francona is going to make a Northern Ohio Toyota dealer's call to the bullpen. Game tied at 1, 9th inning.
What if saving money was as easy?
Talking about the Indians trying to beat the Tigers tonight for the 16th consecutive time. The Indians beat Baltimore 17 straight times in 1954. Here's a little tidbit for you. The 1954 Baltimore Orioles featured a pitcher who made history, Don Larson. He didn't make it with Baltimore through that perfect game in the World Series for the Yankees. He was with Baltimore in 54. He had a record of 3-21. Wow. And then would throw the perfect game a number of years later for the New York Yankees. Don Larson was 3-21 with the 54 Orioles. Here's Miguel Cabrera, 0 for 2 with a walk, waving at a slider strike. That Orioles team lost 100 games. That's when it was a 154-game season. So they were 54-100. Don Larson was 3-21. Bob Turley was 14-15. The pitch swung on, fouled off to the right, 0-2. Joe Coleman was 13-17. Some of the hitters on those Oriole teams of 54 and included a lot of names you probably haven't heard of. Some you have. The Orioles lineup that year. Here's the 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. Clint Courtney was the catcher. Eddie Wakus at first. Bobby Young at second. Billy Hunter at short. Vern Stevens was at third. The outfield, Jim Fridley, Chuck Daring, Cal Abrams. Bob Kennedy was on that team. Sam Mealy, remember the former Twins manager? Here's the 1-2. Swing and a tapper to the mound. Fielded by Goody. Runs to first, flips to first, 2 down. But that was the 1954 Orioles team that the Indians beat 17 consecutive times. They could match that if they find a way to beat Detroit tonight and again tomorrow night. Right now, though, it's the 9th inning, game tied at 1. Here's Kristen Stewart, 1 for 3 with a double. Left-handed hitter with good power. Indians put 3 on the right side of the infield. The outfield deep and around toward right. No wind whatsoever. A gorgeous 77 degrees. The pitch, and it's fouled straight back. Oh, man, did Stewart have a rip. Hope you'll be with us Friday night. Indians and Phillies with a big fireworks show afterwards. Tickets at Indians.com or use the ballpark app. Game tied at 1, 9th inning, 2 outs, nobody on the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went after the high heat. 0-2. Hey, to get your best deal on any new or used car, go to Sunnyside Chevrolet in Elyria or check out all of their inventory and current specials online at SunnysideChevy.com. Now the 2-strike pitch. Swung on, fouled back and out of play. Will do it again at 0-2. Oliver Perez retired the 2 men he faced after the brilliant effort by Aaron Savali, who went 7 2/3. And the rookie right-hander just continues to dazzle. Now the set, and Goody's 2-strike pitch to Stewart. Checked on a slider low, 1-2. Goody's been hurt recently by the long ball, and of course, you can't afford to give one of those up right now. Dodgers still leading Tampa 3-1, 4th inning in L.A. Tampa and the Indians, same number of losses. The pitch, down and in, 2-2. And let's face it, you can say whatever you want about, well, there's no such thing as an easy team to beat or any of that. Hey, bottom line is, if your club's playing Detroit and the team you're battling with is playing the Dodgers, you need to win and hope the Dodgers help you out. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit pretty well to left, but playable. Allen drifting back in front of the track makes the catch. So the Indians bullpen has done its job. Can the Indians do? Tigers making some changes. As the first pitch from Buck Farmer is delivered to Yasiel Puig for ball 1. Jeimer Candelario now at first. Brandon Dixon moves from first to left. Kristen Stewart out of the game. 1-1, bottom of the 9th. The pitch, Puig sends one into shallow center. This is trouble. Base hit. Blue job. Well, the Tiger outfielders playing deep. Nobody could get that shallow fly to center. And Yasiel Puig is the winning run at first and has a 3-hit game. And here comes Mike Freeman, 1 for 3 with a single. Buck Farmer cruised through a 1-2-3 8th inning. He's working the 9th. In a game tied at 1, the Indians have had 6 walk-off wins. Their last was August 12th against Boston. Carlos Santana won it in the 9th inning with a home run. The Indians have had 4 walk-off homers. 6 walk-off wins all year. Tigers look for the bunt. The pitch, Freeman squares, bunts it back toward the mound. Farmer looked to second, throws wide to first. Somehow, the foot stayed on the bag by Candelario as he went into foul ground to catch that bullet throw from Farmer, who almost threw it away. So a good sack bunt by Mike Freeman, and he almost got more than he expected on that sack bunt. So now the winning run is at second, and Yasiel Puig runs pretty well. Here's Greg Allen. A fly out, a strikeout. Switch hitter batting left-handed. The Indians and the Tigers tied up 1-1, bottom of the ninth, winning run at second base with one down. Can Greg Allen come through? Buck Farmer's pitch. Swing and a miss. Went changeup. Well, the Indians, what they need out there wearing a Tiger uniform and pitching is Todd Jones. How many walk-off wins did they have against the former Tiger closer? Buck Farmer checks second. Comes to the plate to Allen. And he grounds one to the second baseman. Castro gobbles it up, throws him out. Puig to third, but now there are 2 men out for Jake Bauers. Well, Bauers has struggled since coming back from Columbus. That could go away with one swing of the bat. 2 outs, winning run at third. 9th inning, game tied at 1. Bauers tonight, a strikeout, a ground out, and a walk. Pitching coach Rick Anderson to the mound. What they are discussing here is, all right, Buck Farmer, you're throwing the ball well. Do you want to face Jake Bauers? Or do you want to go righty-righty matchup? The on-deck hitter is Roberto Perez. Now, if you look at the career numbers, really a small sample size. Bauers 1-for-1 lifetime against Farmer. And Roberto Perez 3-for-8. So we'll see what the Tigers elect to do. And it might be a case they pitch to Bauers, but that old don't give him anything good to hit. So Jake Bauers against Detroit. Back on June 14th, he hit for the cycle. All the Indians want now is a base hit to win the game. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Tried to hit a 2-run homer. Winning run at third. Yasiel Puig led off the inning with a single. He's there with 2 down. 9th inning, game tied up at 1. Farmer throwing the ball well. Delivers to Bauers. Down low, he went changeup again, 1-1. So one thing we've seen more from Buck Farmer this year, changeups. Not everything is hard, and it's translated into his best season. He's become a pitcher, not a thrower. He delivers, and Bauers takes down and in. 2 balls and a strike, so he's put himself in a hitter's count. 15,828. Some are on their feet. Outfield, fairly deep, straight away. Infield, normal. Now the set, the 2-1. Down low, 3-1. Another changeup. On deck, Roberto Perez. Puig at third, 2 down in the 9th. Game tied at 1, and this is what we said about the Tigers at the outset. They're having a miserable year, but they play hard. Now the 3-1 delivery. A swing and a weak fly ball to center will have extra innings. Reyes will pull it in, and the Indians and Tigers go to the 10th, tied at 1.
Tomorrow at 3.
Just by listening.
On WTAM 1100.
Results may vary.
Adam Cimber, the submarine-style right-hander, is coming on to pitch for the Indians. And we go to the 10th inning in a ball game that is tied up at 1. It's been tied all game long. Each team got 1 run. It was in the 3rd inning. Victor Reyes had a sac fly to bring in the Tigers' only run. And the Indians got an RBI single in the 3rd from Carlos Santana to account for the Tribe's only run. When it comes to extra innings, Cleveland 5-7, Detroit 6-9. Cimber, sinker, slider, change. Dalwell Lugo for 3, the batter. The set and the pitch. And it's in there, a called strike. As if the Indians aren't handcuffed enough, they still don't have their closer, Brad Hand. best case scenario for Brad Hand as he pitches this weekend. That pitch, a little low, 1-1. Now, Brad Hand, according to Terry Francona on the manager's show, threw the ball as well today in a bullpen session as he has in a long time. He's got his arm angle back up where it needs to be. The 1-1 and a breaking ball strike, 1-2. Brad Hand made 24 pitches in a bullpen session today. Still not sure when he can come back, but best case scenario would be this weekend. But Terry Francona said he really threw the ball well. Now the 1-2, and it's strike three called, a fastball. Got him looking. Lugo is out, number one. When pitchers get tired, the arm angle drops. In other words, your arm starts to get closer to the ground when you deliver rather than being more up over the top or however high your arm angle normally is when you throw the pitch. The more tired you get, that starts to drop, and then you lose life. And that's what had happened to Brad Hand, but Tito said his arm angle was back to where it needs to be. Here's Brandon Dixon, and he sends one out of play to the right, strike one. Now, that's a bullpen session. You never know how it translates when you start competing, when the adrenaline kicks in and whatnot. But the good news is Brad Hand is feeling way better, and hopefully you get him back pitching this weekend. Now the pitch. Swung on, drill to right, but foul again. And the count, 0-2. But it's hard enough to win these games, much less do it without your bona fide all-star closer. But what else is new? Another hurdle for the Indians to try to clear. Game tied 1-1, 10th inning. 2-strike pitch, swung on and missed. You got Dixon. Couple of strikeouts for Cimber. The totals here in the 10th inning. For the Detroit Tigers, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors, 3 stranded. For the Indians, 1 run, 8 hits, no errors. And the Indians have left 6 men on. Here's Travis Demeritte, another right-handed hitter. 2 flyouts and a strikeout. 2 down, nobody on, 10th inning, game tied at 1. Tigers have not had a hit since the 4th inning. The pitch, and a strike called. Aaron Savali went 7 2/3, giving up a run on 4 hits. Both Oliver Perez and Nick Goody each went 2/3 of a scoreless inning. Now Cimber's delivery, and it's swung on, fouled at the plate, and the count 0-2. And the Indians' bullpen looks really good tonight. Now the set. Now the 2-strike pitch. Wow! That had the inside corner. But Demeritte gets the call, not Cimber, and the count 1-2. It might have been an 1/8 of an inch low. Now the 1-2. Checked on a pitch outside, a slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Game tied at 1 run apiece. Cimber takes very little time, and so stepping out to slow him down is Travis Demeritte. Cimber's ready, and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a weak fly ball to shallow right near the line. Puig charging, makes the running basket catch. Cimber has a 1-2-3, 10th inning. Another chance for the
link up WTAM.com.
Well, KeyBank introduces Easy Up, the tool that'll help you automatically stack up savings, pay down debt. KeyBank, the banking home of the Cleveland Indians. They bring you the keys to the game with a key tonight. Great pitching on both sides. This ballgame is still tied up, 1 run apiece. And the Tigers are going to go to their hard-throwing right-hander. And this is Jose Cisnero, as he will pitch the bottom of the 10th inning in a 1-1 ball game. So Buck Farmer continues his terrific year for the Tigers. 2 scoreless innings. He gave up a hit. And now it's up to Jose Cisnero. He gets it up there in the mid to upper 90s. Fastball, slider, changeup. Cisnero, his 32nd appearance. No wins, 3 losses. Earned run average, 426. Strikes out more than a batter an inning. Jose Cisnero. Roberto Perez, 2 strikeouts and a hit into a double play. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch. And it's in there, called strike. Spencer Turnbull was terrific. He started, went 5 innings, gave up a run, struck out 8. David McKay, Brian Garcia, and Buck Farmer have covered 4 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Now the 0-1 pitch. And it's swung on, grounded back up the middle, behind second. Bobble by the shortstop, Castro. And Perez is safe. Castro had to go a long way to his left, and he went up the middle. And he's going to get charged with an error. And the Indians will have a pinch runner. Bradley Zimmer is going to pinch run for Roberto Perez. And Zimmer, of course, nothing wrong with his legs. He's very capable of stealing a base here. So he'll run for Bradley. Bradley Zimmer will run for Roberto Perez. Bradley Zimmer out most of the year with that recovery from the torn labrum surgery, then the oblique injury. But he was a tremendous base stealer before getting hurt a year ago when he crashed into the wall at Yankee Stadium. Flaherty shows bunt, bounces it back up the middle. Bobble by Cisnero, recovers, and he throws him out at first. Cisnero, on a 1-hop bunt back at him, had an easy force at second, and he dropped the ball. And on the bobble, then he had one play, and that was to get the out at first, but he would have easily had the lead runner. So the Tigers defense letting them down, 1 error in the inning, and that's not an error. You can't assume the play at second, but it sure would not have been a sac bunt. And now Frankie Lindor intentionally walked. They're not going to let Lindor beat him, even though he is struggling right now. So Cisnero, in what is now sudden death for he and the Tigers, is in a 1-1 game here in the 10th. And the Indians have runners at first and second. Lindor's run means nothing at first. Bradley Zimmer is the winning run at second. Here's Oscar Mercado, 0 for 4, 2 groundouts, 2 strikeouts. Right-hander against right-hander. Mercado did have a walk-off game-winning single against the Reds in the 10th inning back on June 11th against their outstanding closer. The set and the pitch from Cisnero, swung on, rolled toward second. Castro, the second baseman, to second, one relay to first, no chance. So Zimmer's now at third, Mercado on a fielder's choice at first, Lindor forced at second, 2 down, and Carlos Santana. Now, again, you have a base open. It's second base. And let's see, does Santana get a chance to swing it? He's had 2 walk-off home runs this year. Against Toronto on April 5th, and a walk-off homer against Boston on August 12th. He doesn't need a homer. A base hit'll do. Tigers are again overloading the right side of the infield with 3. Third baseman Dalwell Lugo, 30 feet off the line on the left side. The pitch, runner at first goes down and in. What a stop by Rogers. That ball could have gotten away. Indifference allows Mercado to go to second. Now the only thing that is at now, Now by going to second, you take the bat out of the hands of Santana. So now they'll intentionally walk Santana. But you could have done that even with second base open before, but made it easier, I guess, in the mind of Ron Gardenhire to do it on the indifference that allowed Mercado to go to second. So Yasiel Puig, well, he hasn't done it yet for the Indians. And by that I mean he hasn't delivered a walk-off game winner. He's had a good night, 3 for 4, 3 singles. Right-hander against right-hander. Indians have the bases loaded. 2 down in the 10th. Game tied at 1. The set. The pitch to Puig. A swing and a long drive deep right field. Demeritte back at the wall. Off the wall. Base hit. Game winner. And a walk-off celebration for Yasiel Puig and the Cleveland Indians. Yasiel Puig wins it with a drive off the wall in right, and he is getting mobbed, and the wild horse has been corralled in shallow right by his teammates, and he's loving every minute. Oh, did he put a charge into that and drove it the other way, off the wall in right field, and Yasiel Puig gives the Indians their 7th walk-off win of the year, a game-winning single off the wall in right field. And in 10 innings, the Indians have defeated the Detroit Tigers by a score of 2-1. And all the Indians can do is win and then hope for some help. Oakland won today in walk-off fashion against Kansas City, and Tampa Bay right now has come back to tie the Dodgers at 3 in the 5th. But for the Indians, they'll celebrate in their clubhouse. A hard-earned 2-1 Tribe win in 10.